Hello and welcome again to Steve's Long Stay Workshop. Now today we're going to look at something which is not a radio. I do more than radios, you know. This is a tape recorder. Now before I get the tape recorder and take a look at it, I thought we might possibly have a quick look at the circuit. I began with tape recorders, not radios. And if we start with radios like the Defiant here, then fine. But if we want to start with electronics and mechanical stuff like record players and tape recorders as well, then this is the place to start. And my first job was in fact one of these. I was about 4 years old. Yeah, exactly, 3 years old. Anyway, this tape recorder is AC only, transformer there, AC only, see, and it's got metal rectifier which is there, okay, and the smoothers which are there. This is a popular 400 tape recorder, Elizabethan, made by EAR Electronics. The deck is a BSR TD2, which is very common. There's also a TD10, which is like a TD2, only 3-speed. This set is a TD2. I'll show you that, a very common deck. 3 valves. It's got the EM84, which is the magic eye circuit, like you see in radios. I think that valve works in place of the one which goes up and over as well, so it was actually at a time it wasn't at the time approved repair. The other valve is a triode, pentode in one. I'll show you in this one where the ACL 82 and ACL 86, although we're opening it up, but it doesn't matter at this stage. And the DCC 83, which is there. Now on playback, simple enough. Speaker, 8+ stage speaker, and in at the heads. Now when you switch these things to record, it changes what it does. That stage stays the same. Well, it amplifies microphone and radio sockets on the front. But this stage now becomes an oscillator stage as well, which we can pick up on a radio sometimes. Well, about 50 kilohertz or so. I don't know with this one, but if we need to know, we'll find out. And the reason why tape recorders have an oscillator stage in them is to drive the eraser, and also when you're recording onto magnetic tape, if you record directly, you get terrible distortion. Record it with an AC waveform as well, you don't, called the hysteresis of the heads. That actually makes it quite the tape better. Why? Well, I don't know exactly, but I'm sure we'll find it on the net somewhere. If you want to know, I will find out and tell you, but it really doesn't matter for now. So this is a tape recorder we're going to look at today, and I'm now going to go and get the thing and of course take it apart, because that's what we do here, isn't it? Take them apart. Maybe sometimes we might fix one as well. You never know, do you? This is it. This is the popular 400 Elizabethan tape recorder. It's a 4-track machine. In those days, 2 and 4 track meant we record 2 or 4 tracks on the tape, like now. But in these days, it recorded 4 mono tracks, 2 on each side, which meant in a way the tape went from being 2-track to 4-track. So in a way, it doubled the length of the tape. They came like this with a lid which went on top like that. That one's pretty good actually. The rubbers are okay for the reels. Don't need to clean obviously. And they also gave a microphone as well. So, without any further ado, let's see what we should do with this thing. Plug in and switch on. Now at this point the microphone is not connected. We're going to wait for it to warm up. When it does, of course, the green light there, which is a bit dim on this actually I think, so come up. One, two, three. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Well, obviously this one has got few little problems, so we'll have to have a look inside and see what they are before we go any further. By the way, with these, to plug the microphone in the radio socket acts as a basic PA system, which means that you can actually use them as a basic PA. It's also a good way of setting microphones, so that's another handy tip. This, by the way, is the original Elizabethan microphone. These actually do have problems, actually, so with the crystal inside them, so it might work, it might not. Same as though it did, but well, I don't know yet, so we'll see. Anyway, so get a screwdriver or two and take the top off and have a look inside. That's the circuit, by the way. I'll need that. I'll probably need that as well, a meter. We'll keep one of those handy. You know, someday I'll have to tidy up this bench, you know, before anyone says something, but you know, when was the engineer ever tidy? When was an engineer ever really tidy? Exactly. And get the screwdriver and we'll start taking this this bad boy apart and look inside and see what's going on with it. Straight away, obviously something. I'm going to hold my neck out here and say that it's the smoothing caps, but obviously we will see on that. We will see. So if we take the panels off, we can look inside, and I'll show you the basic BSR deck as well. On this machine, it comes apart in two parts. That now reveals not a lot when it comes off. That's plastic, by the way, ready for cleaning. I've got one of these actually from where I showed it. It's got cracks and all sorts and rather bad damn old labelling on the front that my dad did. So be nice to have a work at it, I think. Anyway, now take this one off as well. Like so. There we go. And that one comes off as well. Which let's go inside and have a look at the heads here on the deck. Now the deck and this, by the way, these are quite common. This one obviously sealed up, but we'll come to that in a minute. This spring here, by the way, on the right hand side on these decks, it's using some other tape record players as well, so a bit hard to find, so don't lose or abuse that spring in any way. That doesn't look to me like the heads. Never mind. We'll put a tape on. Right. Press play. that, by the way, is not a tape recorder at the wrong speed, by the way. That is a tape recorded at a different speed. These go at 3 3/4 IPS and not anything else. So that's obviously what. Obviously, this machine was recorded at 1 7/8. So I get another tape, and the look inside. That switch is probably faulty. There's cap to change, and the deck to do as well. So we'll look a bit further, and we'll see what it is, what is not faulty with this unit. Right, now with a tape recorder or anything else, first thing you do when you've got it apart, which I've done here by the way, full screen and the lock came out, stop and look around, find out where things are. First of all, I might have noticed, by the way, you might have done it, I did notice by the way, that the counter wasn't working. Simple enough problem, a belt, and that one's broken, so we need to get new one of those. Go on the shopping list. Right, now, mains goes in to the motor and the transformer at the same time. This motor, by the way, does not have a motor start cap, so nothing to worry about there. And then of course it goes to the mains transformer, and then it goes to the bridge rectifier, which is this thing here. Yeah. From there it goes to smoothing capacitor, and that's it all like an AC radio. Okay. Valves, by the way, again, ECL86 on this, by the way, these can give trouble. This one might be okay, it might not be. They can give trouble, particularly if the coupling cap is leaky, so always check that, and always, like anything on this car, always check the coupling caps first, without fail. The other one is an ECC83. Those valves, by the way, particularly the ECC83, are very well known and liked among guitar people and hi-fi buffs. So if you get a tape recorder, make sure the valves are in it before you buy it, please, because I've had people brought to me that I've bought the tape recorder, it doesn't work, open it up, no valves in. And then here, of course, that's the EM84. Okay. Tray switch here, 4 sockets here, and of course on-off switch, and the two controls here, which I need to at least spray, which I will do. The motor, by the way, drives the deck, which on this is as I said before, a TD2. On the TD2 deck, everything is driven by it's driven off the one motor, and when you move it from play to wind, of course, wind back and wind forward, actually moves the spindles around it in the unit. So spindles don't move about, it doesn't work, which is one of the problems with this one. And of course the problem with that after all these years is muck, so have to give it a clean. That's one thing. But while we're in it, nothing else to see apart from the fact that should be up top, but I'll leave that. And I noticed that 2 and 3 track weren't working. I said this is a 4-track machine, by the way. 1 and 4 and 2 and 3. 1 and 4 plays the standard 1 and 4 of a 2-track machine. 2 and 3. If you put a 2-track tape in a 4-track machine, 2 and 3 plays the other side backwards, which as a kid is great fun, as you can imagine. But it's just one of those quirks of the business. Anyway, so what we do now, I'm going to get the valves, look up where the capacitors are, then I'm going to change it if I need to. Especially in this case, C12, as I said earlier on, is the one which means life or death for this valve. I've got another one, but they're not cheap, and I prefer not to change it, to be honest with you. So I'll get the valves up and have a look and find out where the components are, by the way. This circuit, by the way, tells you all the values of the components as well, so no problem there. It played okay, so obviously the smoother is more than likely okay, but there's something else here as well, around these knobs, so I'll have a look and make sure that's okay as well. Right, well, the electronics on this, it's quite simple actually. Those 3 capacitors have been replaced. One of them didn't need to be actually, but I changed all 3 just for goodness sake. and also the controls on the front here. What I did, I put the thing on its side, and I then sprayed all over with switch cleaner and worked it back and forth, and so it went in and it's cleaned them up quite well. So that's something which you can remember. All you do is spray with this stuff at both sides, and then turn them back and forth, and lo and behold, they become bright and clean and quiet. The crackle, by the way, was due to this valve not being in its socket, so I might possibly need to change the valve order. I don't know yet. Now, if we switch the thing on now, and wait while it warms up. There we are, it's warmed up, you see. You can also check the microphone. Put it in the radio socket, the thing acts as a karaoke machine. 1 2 3 4 5 5 4 3 2 1. 1 2 3 4 5 5 4 3 2 1. Like so, you see. So there you are. That's working quite well. So there you are. Put it in the mic socket. That I think checks all of the units from the second half of the ECC83 right the way through to the speaker on playback. On record, by the way, there are two sockets, one for microphone and one for recording off the radio. Both are on either sides of valve 1A, the first preamp, which is also in the ECC83. So that looks as though the electronics look as though they're okay now, but I'll keep an eye on them obviously. By the way, there's a thing in the trade, a saying, is it amplifiers oscillate, oscillators don't. Now oscillation is when a signal is fed back to the beginning of an amplifier and it oscillates. Which I demonstrate like this. Feedback. That is oscillation in its simplest form. Don't leave an amplifier doing that for long, because it goes to the rest of the unit. But that is basically how an oscillator works. It simply feeds back. In the case of the ECL86 actually, the column on the circuit which converts it to an oscillator on record as well. So on record, amplifier and preamp, and then oscillator to the heads as well. Both heads. One of course is the erase head, and one of course is the record and playback head, and this which record. On this machine, by the way, it comes up over time, that, you know, so it's worth looking at that. Actually, on this machine, with it being a 4-track machine, each head is a 4-track head, and you switch one to with the playback. So there are in fact it's a little bit of circuit for that on here. Also on this circuit, by the way, there is hum codes across the heads. Machine can work without them if they're faulty. I had a good recently where it was, and it made the most horrendous racket. Clipped it out, played perfectly, so I thought, fine, go without it then. I know people might actually complain about me for that, but well, it was working, and I couldn't get a new car, so I just got it out, dipped it out, and it was fine. And it's still works to this day. Actually, I use it sometimes in here. Anyway, with the electronics sorted out now, time to look at the deck. Now, on this deck, the two spindles are held in here, and the one underneath. So, you take them out and give it a good clean, and also take out the front here and get that out, which are clean as well. And of course, the caps, turning heads, everything else as well. Right, well, the spindles have come off this machine now, and very dirty they were underneath too. There were some spring clips underneath, and off came the spindles. One spindle actually came off with a bit underneath as well, by the way, which holds the drive belt here. So when that goes back, the drive belt has to go back as well. All the little belts, little bits and pieces that are held, and they must go back in the same order. But now With them off, actually, it's a lot easier to operate this control down here as well. That's the next thing we look at, of course. But now it's cleaning the spindles, and of course these things, part of the deck here, you see, because they were solid. One of them still is actually. They're absolutely solid. You have to use brute force, ignorance, and patience to pull them off, but they do come. And when they do, all you have to do then is clean them, clean everything thoroughly and properly. It's the only way. There's no shortcuts here. Just clean everything and clean everything properly. Which is what we do now. Spindle first, like that, you see. And of course, get your rag, do that until nothing else comes off. When nothing else comes off, that'll do it clean. Also that underneath here as well. So that's it now. That now is clean. Okay. Well, then of course, when that's clean, of course, the polishing up as well. The other one is exactly the same. But also, on the board here, on the deck here, there's a spindle, which a post which has to be cleaned. So what you do, again, being very careful not to get any on the rubber parts. Do that. Put some on the rag, like that, and just do that. Repeat again and again and again until all the muck comes off. But if any on at all have to come off without fail. Yeah. And also there's two, by the way, there's two here, by the way. There's two here, by the way. This thing here, by the way, is what holds the spindle in place and lets it move back and forth, rewind, play and fast forward. This two inside has to be cleaned thoroughly. Again, with the rag and the whatever fluid you're using, WD-40 or switch cleaner or whatever. Just get this thing clean, 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 clean. That's the only way. Keep it all clean. Both of them, by the way. And then reassemble them exactly the same way as they came apart. Dead easy. Dead easy, these. Also, by the way, that underneath, that's clean as well, by the way. Don't put lubricant where lubricant shouldn't go. Now, that's the thing with tape recorders, record players. Do not put lubricant on rubber parts. Okay? So, with that clean, and that clean, now you see, now we come to this thing here, you see. So what you do, you get a corner of the rag, soak it like that, and just do that. Take it through. It's worth using toilet paper here, by the way, if you can get any, because I've got, right now we're in the middle of the coronavirus thing. Everybody bang up toilet roll like no tomorrow. But if you get some, do that as well. Both of them, get them absolutely clean. I can't stress enough. Clean, 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 clean. And the deck as well. Keep this area absolutely clean. That's the only way to do it. With tape recorders, once the electronics are sorted, which is fairly easy, it's the deck, and it's just clean, 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 and then clean some more. Then of course we've got the heads tape and the capstan as well. That also needs to be cleaned thoroughly, and this here on these two under here as well, by the way. All has to come out and be cleaned, every bit of it. So you can sit here and clean. So stick the radio on and clean to your heart's content. Inside these decks, by the way, not only has it got to be clean, but parts do not have to rub against each other. And certain parts get absolutely rock solid. These fit underneath the spindles. There's the real spindle, you see, and there is the bit that goes underneath it, like so. Yeah. That bit onto there, like so, and that lot goes on there like that. Yeah. This bit moves the spindle about, rewind, fast forward and play, which is controlled by the switch here. Yeah. These get bunged up solid with grease. The grease goes rock solid. The same thing happens, by the way, on the Thorn FTD4, FTD3 decks as well, by the way. So this is common on a number of decks. It's something you need to watch for. This part, nothing wrong with the part, but it goes rock solid. I mean rock solid. So all you have to do is take it apart, get it off. It takes time, by the way, but you know you can do it in the end. And then from that, you've got to clean it inside and out. It takes time, but it's very, very much worth doing. So, silver salt, a rag, or a bit of paper. Toilet paper will do nicely. Into the kitchen, and that will go through that hole like so, and cleans out the inside of the hole again like so. You see, and it cleans out the inside of the hole, because the hole goes onto a pillar on the deck here, which I've also had to clean like so, and again like so, and also the thing as well, which goes in a smaller hole, but the same applies. Now this one now looks okay, so you put it back in place. Drag will take the way for now. Out of the way for now. Drag will stay out of the way for now, like so. And that goes back there on there. Right, now, back and forth, top of oil, then the top there like that, is to give it a little bit more pull like that. And there you are. After that, the switch here, the spring comes off. The spring is very important, by the way, so make sure you take care of that. This lot comes off, and clean where the switch here as well. That should do it. Also, very careful with oil and service saltings, by the way, not to get it on any of the rubber bits, because if you do, it will work, but not immediately, and it does affect the performance. Okay, so I'll put this one back together now, and then we'll look at the switch. That's the deck all cleaned. Both spindles are back on, and the deck works well in each direction. That's forward, that's backward. The other way, that's the tape being pressed against the head, by the way, it's quite common in these machines. And of course, this is play. That's, by the way, a desert song for the World Record Club, by the way. So if anybody wants to know, that's what it is. Anyway, leaving it running for a bit, I can see some smaller issues which need sorting out. So we need to get a belt for the counter. That's easy enough. One is going to have to come up again, because if you look underneath the deck here, I think one where the tape runs slightly too high, so that means that it might rib against the side of the reel, so that needs to be put right. And also I noticed the EM84, that's the recording and play indicator, it's very dim. And measuring it, the lowest I can get it off it is 142 volts. Looking on my phone, and the specs of the valve tells me that it works up to 250 volts off, so so that is obviously low. Whether it's a valve that's low, as in 60 years old, or whether it's things like the big rectifier, I'll take it apart and find out. But I must say, come up rather well this. That's backwards. The microphone works as well, by the way, and you can test the mic on these, by the way, by putting the mic into the radio socket and talking into it like so. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So this machine is also a karaoke machine as well as that way. I might be later on, I don't know yet. Not sung for years. But anyway, it's getting there. Now, I've started with tape recorders at 3 and 4 years old and started with one of these machines, like I said. And if you want to start doing stuff more than just radios, then start with one of these, because these machines, the power supply and audio section are basically the same as a radio. Most of them, but not all, one or two that aren't, but most of them are transformer AC only, so there's no big resistor to worry about there, and some look at that about electric shock is minimal, and there's also an oscillator as well, because of course without it, of course, we couldn't record the tape and play back. So oscillator like in a radio, and amplifier like in a radio. The thing it doesn't have is IF, but an IF amplifier is basically the same as audio amplifier but at RF. So tape recorder has a bit of everything. It gives you very good grounding, and they're fairly cheap as well. These, even now, this kind, fairly cheap. So worth having a go at. Anyway, I'll take the apart again in a bit, and we'll see. I'll look at the why that valve is getting dimmer by the minute. Speaking of which, I wonder if it's you know, I wonder if it is getting dimmer by the minute. Well, it's just me. It is, isn't it? Interesting. So I'll look into that as well. That could be the big rectifier playing up. If a big rectifier plays up, by the way, all you do is whisk it out and get 4 diodes or a big rectifier and put that in, and a resistor as well, because modern ones sometimes give a high voltage, so it goes down a bit. But apart from that, there's no problem with that at all. So, always, if you're going to change it, by the way, what you do, look at the voltage on the cathode, the pentode anode, sorry, of the, in this case, the ECL86, and check that is within spec, and also the ECC83. If they're okay, then the chances are that's okay. The caps on this, they do go, but on this one they're okay. They do go, but like they do on radios. Also, I think, looking at this one here, I think there's another resistor which feeds the first stage amplification as well, and that's where the voltage for the major guy comes from. So I'll have a look at that as well. But with it going off like that, if it's a valve, well, I've got one, and I'll probably get one at Gorbon if need to. But it's going off that time, isn't it? Well, what I'll do, I'll turn it off for a minute. There we go. And give it a few minutes, turn it on again. If it comes up again, then it's either valve or possibly the diodes. I don't know, but we'll find out. That's what we do. Always fault find before capacity changing. Always fault find first. The 3 caps on here which have changed, I admit, but that's just for valve security. But anything else, check first and change later. Okay? Because there's no point. The thing with capacitive capacity changing is that there really is only one one firm benefits from that, and that's consider manufacturers. Think about it. If it's okay, leave it where it is. Anything with hunting, like I said, comes out, but this one doesn't have any hunting in it at all, by the way. One of them is one of those Phillips mustard caps, and they are always fine. Right, well, the capacitors inside have been changed. The smoothing capacitor block, of course, it's this thing here. These go on a circuit board, and they contain two caps. This one's 32 and 32 microfarads at 200 volts working. I put in two 33 microfarad capacitors. What's a microfarad between friends at this stage? And of course, they're at 400, so they'll be fine. With it being a metal rectifier, as you'll see there, with it being a metal rectifier, you can of course put in 47s as well, or more, depending on either the valve or in this case, because it's one of those. Actually, you could put say 100 in here as well. It wouldn't do. All it does is smooth it out so that the full HT current gets out to the rest of the unit and the valves smoothed and clear as well. With the mean actually, the HT is now back to normal. I'm getting 280 volts here, 250 volts or thereabouts here, but only 150 here. And that feeds that stage. It plays okay, by the way, a bit louder. And also this, which is the magic eye. Now the magic eye on this circuit, by the way, is it's still dim, by the way. It might be the valve. That capacitor there, by the way, is okay. I've checked it, it's okay. So it's either that or the valve itself. The valve itself, there's no problem. I've got them in stock, but let's find the fault first and check. So check that capacitor there, and then of course that valve there, of course. Actually, one thing you can do with these, by the way, if you want to get more brightness out of them, if they're getting a bit long in the tooth, like this one might well be, it's here. The HT switch is fed here off R8, which is that resistor there. If you move that and put it there, it will give more voltage to the valve, so it will be brighter. So that's another trick you can do. The capacitor, by the way, I missed it because there was no hum for the unit at all, none at all. And that's because this capacitor was in circuit and hadn't been used for years, and it was reforming, which is why it was hot. It was in fact reforming, which they do. So I left it. It would have been okay, but I changed it. So what I'll do with that one, by the way, just an experiment, I might put that on the reformer and see if I can bring it up to any usable level. If I can, well, I'll use it in something, but for now it's I'm going to put it up there out of the way. Now also with this with it running, there's a problem with the tape as well, against scraping against the top reel, the top of the reel here. Just get that out of the way. Oh, against the top of the reel here. Now this is because this is too low. So I've got a resistor for it. Sorry, I've got a washer for it here. So that is going to come apart again, and that wheel is going to go up to cure that. Then of course I'll run it again. I can run it now actually. On it goes. There we go. On it goes. Wait for it to warm up. Come on, warm up. Thank you very much, sir. Right, there you go. You see, that valve is now brighter, but it goes slightly dimmer when the valves warm up. So maybe it is the 18. But there you go. Both channels. It's louder actually as well. Muchly so. So that's what we're up to with it for now. And the next thing we've got to do is check that resistor, and of course make out and check the deck as well for alignment, and also heads and stuff. That heads and stuff actually, but I go through that with you as well. And also after that, of course, we can see if anything else that needs doing. Both the valves are okay. All three valves are okay, but I said possibly that one, the EM84. If it's past its best, Goldbone's coming up, so I'll probably get one there, or Nick run at something else. I don't know, but I'll check that resistor first. So for now, I'll go back in again and have a look. Also, by the way, I haven't managed to get a drive belt for the cavity yet. That's not urgent. Actually, like I said, in the day, of course, the joke was to put a Woolworths rubber band in as well. Woolworths don't exist, by the way, in this country anymore, and so rubber bands out there. But all it is that, it's nothing else. So a rubber band will do fine, but don't say I told you that, because I'm supposed to be professional. Anyway, that's what we're up to. So back with you shortly with both those things done and checked. Right, well, the R8, which is here on the circuit, I've gone on the blue wire which goes to the anode of the guy, and to one side of R8, as you can see, there's zero ohms, because of course it's only a piece of wire. Then the other side should be 68 ohms, and it seems to be rather more than that. It seems to actually be something like 82k. So that resistor has gone high, which means therefore that there'll be not enough 8T going to the magic eye, or to this valve, actually, the ECC83, the way it is in the circuit. If you've got a diagram which shows you what everything is on the circuit, great, use it. If you're not, then component values marked, 4 wires through, and when you put the circuit board, you can check underneath by following the wires. Same with point-to-point construction, of course. So that's how you do it. A lot of looking and following stuff through, and you find the parts. So that resistor is well at its tolerance. Right, well, at this stage now, the back of the cabinet, that spool has been raised for putting a washer underneath. Easier said than done, actually, because got a whole lot off under belt and put it back in again. I've also put a new 68k resistor in, which will make the lid brighter. The tube itself is past its best, and I'm going to hopefully I'll get one at Gorbun, if Gorbun is still on, of course, because of coronavirus. Anyway, straight about now is where I can hopefully get the set here on the bench, and using one hand to operate both controls, like so, like that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That was just started there because it was too high, so I'll do that again just to make sure. This, by the way, is a 4-track machine, which means therefore that I can record on 2 and 3 track, and of course 1 and 4 track as well. Now 1 and 4 track is the one which is used on the 2-track machine. 2 and 3 are the extra tracks on a 4-track machine. Which means therefore that I can record on 2 and 3 track, and of course 1 and 4 track as well. Now 1 and 4 track is the one which is used on the 2-track machine. 2 and 3 are the extra tracks on a 4-track machine. Well, that seemed okay. So now, of course, simply a matter of winding this tape off turned the unit off and generally giving it one final clean, and then the job is as good as done. These machines, great to work on, great to play with by the way, and of course they're very good to learn on as well. And they're fairly cheap, and what they do, they do in fact do it very, very well. But so now of course on we go with does it matter? The heads are clean, that capston's clean, that's clean, all that area is clean, that looks okay. So now of course got to put the thing together again and give it another good polish, which we'll do as of now. These 4 screws here hold the entire unit in the case. I think there's 4. Where's the 4th one? Where's the 4th one? Where's the 4th? That's there, right, that's the 4th one. They hold the unit in the case. Then of course the buttons and knobs and stuff goes over the top, and then of course the whole thing given a final clean. Bit difficult with one, but as always, I always do my best, and I hope you appreciate that as much as I do, because sometimes it is a little bit hard, but we manage. We always manage in this show, don't we? Actually, another thing with these, by the way, is that the tapes you get, by the way, you get a lot of people on eBay saying a road tape for a Elizabethan machine or a Phillips machine, or in that case, a Grundig machine, or there's one here from a Sharp machine. This is 1/4" tape, yeah, and whether it's made by Phillips or EMI or the EMI box here somewhere. There we are. EMI master tape. Hang on. Go and get it for you. That's Sharp, by the way. It's quite a nice design. Some people do actually enjoy looking at the designs as well. That's the Sharp one in a very tone box, and this empty box here is for Emmy tape. The Emmy tape is this stuff which the test tape here is recorded on. But whatever it is, you know, some tapes are better than others. BASP tape is very good. Ampex tape, if you get it for these machines, 5 3/4 6" reels, it does tend to shed. It varies based on the position of the tape and where it's been stored and things of that nature. That's what it's made for. Also, by the way, with these, sometimes the Magic Eye here, which is Evolve in this case, is it's green all the way across. That is a resistor on the base here, which goes high in value. That one's okay. Well, that's what they look for as well. Other things, well, obviously the capacitors, like in everything. I actually missed leaving the capacitor on this initially because I thought it would reform. It probably would actually, but I left them out. Always, if you can, get all the diagram. If you can't, always get the details. Another thing, by the way, on this deck, the record switch, this one here, operates a switch on the main printed circuit board. On some machines, it's a lot cheaper than that actually, because this operates a pulley which drives a metal insert and the metal insert has in it the pulley, and of course when they're putting the machine back together, Alba sets are like this, by the way. Sometimes the tape recorder pulley and this don't match up properly. When that happens, you lose the voltage to the anode of the ECL86. When that happens, the ECL86 or ECL82 or whatever, it doesn't last very long, because it will try to act as a diode using the second grid rather. We won't get any audio, we'll get an awful lot of smoking, but we need a new valve very quickly, so look out for that one as well. Yeah, tape recorders, microphones, by the way, at this age, the 4-knob plug like this one here, you can see that, yeah, they are longer than the modern ones. Ones you get are about an eighth of an inch shorter, and so something else. So in some cases you need the original plug. So I will probably put a new end of that interesting tape, but the Mac works okay. Mono, of course, although stereo units are available, and I'll be looking at one later in the year. And like I said, what they did at the time, they did with minimum electronics, and they did it very, very well. These machines were, in fact, for what they did, they were very, very clever what they did. But what a clever design. When you were recording on them, the 8-foot pencil changed into an oscillator as well. Something else to key rise up and forward these. Anyway, that's basically it for tape recorders. So I'll put this back together again, and we'll play with it when it's back together. So see you shortly. With the machine back together again, I can test it again. I can prove well and truly that it works. And like I said, with these things, of course, with the radio mic as well, you can do that as well. So kids love them, by the way, and so do adults. So excuse me, it's time to do some karaoke. Bye bye everyone, take care. To be my own, I long to know her caresses, want to be eternally the one my worshipping soul possesses. No, I don't think it works. Do you? Bye bye. Take care, and keep fixing stuff. It's the way to live. Bye bye.